Hey everybody, so here's another question for us. My good friend Aiden bought some pencils and boxes. It says create a graph to determine if the quantities of boxes and pencils are proportional. If the quantities are proportional, what is the constant of proportionality? What is the constant of proportionality? Two things for us to figure out here. One, no, I'm not going to graph it, so let's just forget it even mentions this part right here. Let's determine if the quantities are proportional. Well, when something's proportional, right, that's the same thing time and time and time again. We can use our lovely formula that we've been using for about ever, it feels like, doesn't it? K is equal to y over x. What are our two variables? Well, we have a number of boxes and number of pencils. Number of boxes and number of pencils. Let's just say number of boxes will be my x, and you guessed it, number of pencils. Alright, that's going to be my y. So we have to figure out, it's not telling us they are proportional, we have to figure it out, and then we're actually going to do this one step further. We're going to say, what's the equation? Alright, now that we've figured out what our constant is, we're going to use another formula. Alright, it's going to look similar to this, but just a little bit different. Alright, so let's figure this out. So is something proportional? Once again, we look at each set of numbers that go together. So when we have 2 is my number of boxes, alright, we get 4 pencils. So what does that do for our formula? So that means I could take 4, alright, put that over x, right, whatever my x value is, in this case it's 2. So 4 over 2 magically turns into the whole number 2. My second set, 4 and 8. Alright, 8 is my y value. That stays in my numerator. 4 goes in the denominator. 8 over 4. Alright, so far so good. So that turns in to 2. Let's try a couple more and see if we get lucky here. My next set right here, 12 and 6. 12 is my y value. 6 is my x. 12 divided by 6. Sounds to me like we're doing okay. And last but not least, 8 and 16. 16 is my y. 8 is my x. 16 divided by 8, yep, 2. So, first part now we can figure out, is it proportional? I keep getting this same number every time. 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, we got 2's everywhere. Alright, yes, it is proportional. What is the constant of proportionality? Well, it's 2. That's what we kept getting. That's what our formula up here says. Okay, my formula says our constant of proportionality, this k number, is equal to whatever your y divided by your x is. Alright, so we can say our constant of proportionality is 2. Now, we want to take this one step further. I'm going to write over here, we know that our constant of proportionality was 2. And here is our fancy formula that says k is equal to y over x. If we want to write the equation based off of what we're given, we can do that. We now have enough information to do that. How do we do that? Well, it's not so bad. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to use a different formula, but it's still going to have these 3 letters in it. And it looks something like this. It says y is equal to kx. And we'd read that as y is equal to k times the value of x. When two things are next to each other, that just means multiply. Well, if I want to plug this into the equation, good news, we really only need one number, gang, and it comes from right here. This says, hey, your k value is 2. So wherever you see this k in your equation, I want you to substitute in that value for it. Well, in this case, that value happens to be what? Well, it happens to be 2. So if we were going to write the equation for this now, we would say that y is equal to 2x. That's it. It's that simple. Whatever number we get for our constant of proportionality, we plug that in for k, and then we just rewrite it. We leave y and x alone. Right? In this case, they're our friends now. We don't have to mess with them. We leave them in here. All right, and this is our equation. So more on this to come, because this is super important for us. We do like to have equations for things. So y is equal to 2x is our equation here, gang.